is Helen. I'm a physiotherapist here at Sitka Physio and Wellness, and today I'm going to be doing a warm-up for those of you who are runners out there. So it's important in this time of repetitive movement patterns where we're spending a lot of time perhaps sitting in front of a desk, that our muscles get used in the same way. It's important for us to balance that out. So this little warm-up is going to be about unwinding some of the tension in the muscles that are used a lot in the same direction that might be tight. We're going to incorporate some breath, and we're going to do a little bit of muscle activation so that when we get out running, we can have as nice and lengthened posture as possible, and we're going to be activating those nice juicy glute and thoracic shoulder girdle muscles as much as possible. So to start with, I'm going to be on the foam roller, and we're going to be lying down on the foam roller. So position your roller. You're going to sit right on the end. And as much as possible, we want to try and have our feet in line with our knees and our hips. And we're going to just gently lower ourselves down to the foam roller. You're going to notice that there will be a small space in the lumbar spine in this zone. There'll also be a small space in the cervical spine in this zone. You should feel that the spine is more firm at the mid-thoracic between the shoulder blades and at the sacrum, as well as at the head. And so we are getting our spine into a more extension position. We're opening up rather than our typical head forward posture. So even just doing this is a great starting point. And so let's bring our hands to our outer margins of our rib cage. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Expand the rib cage and then exhale. Gently melt the front ribs close. Let's do 4 more. Breathe in and exhale. Breathe in, exhale. 2 more. Breathe in and exhale. Feel the feet rooting into the floor. What you want to think about is 4 corners, base of the little toe, base of the big toe, either side of the heel. That's going to give you a stable platform, which we'll talk about again later. Let's do 1 more nice deep breath here, breathing into the ribs. And exhaling, anchoring the front thorax, pulling the ribs down while maintaining that nice curve in the low back. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little opener of the chest. So we're going to bring our arms into what I call a cactus position. Palms face the ceiling. We want to think about heavy hands and light elbows. We're going to inhale, fingertips up and over the head. Exhale, elbows come down towards the waist, into a W position. The rest of the spine is going to keep in a constant position, so we're activating our core to maintain a neutral thorax and a neutral pelvis. Here we go. Inhale up over the head, and exhale, bring it back down towards the waist. Inhale up, and exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up, and exhale down. Last one. Inhale up, and exhale down. Okay, now we're going to bring our palms to our sides. We're going to think about those 4 corners of the feet. We're going to press into the soles of the feet into the floor, and we're going to engage our core. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, press the feet, lift the pelvis up. So here we're getting some nice symmetrical glute activation. Pause. We're going to inhale the arms up. And keeping the arms where they are, we're going to exhale as we imagine 1 vertebrae at a time coming back down towards the roller. Inhale, the arms come down. Exhale, press through the feet, lift up the pelvis. Pause. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, slowly lower the spine back down towards the roller, activating the lower abdominal muscles. Inhale, the arms down. Exhale, press the soles of the feet up, pause, check. Are the two hips at an even level? Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, the arms down. Exhale, press through the feet, lift the pelvis. Pause. Inhale, up. Exhale, slowly lower and back down. We're going to take a moment and slowly shift off the roller and just take a moment to notice your spine on the floor. It should feel a little bit different than when you started, and hopefully you can see some shift in your body already. So here we go. We're going to get up. Now, every opportunity that we do some body rolling, so we're going to use the foam roller next, it's an opportunity to not only release some tension in those repetitively used muscles, but it's also an opportunity to activate our core. So the first foam rolling exercise we're going to do is we're going to place the foam roller in front of us, and we're going to come into a forward plank position. So in this position, our forearms are going to be on the floor, which is going to help us to activate our shoulder girdles and our core. So here we go. We're going to come right up onto the foam roller. I'm going to come right onto my forearms. So it's like a commando crawl. I'm in a plank position. I'm keeping my core nice and strong. Imagine pulling your belly button towards your spine, and we're going to roll the roller forward onto the thighs, and then we're going to commando crawl back. So we're activating our shoulders, we're activating our core, and at the same time, we are getting some nice release to our quadricep muscles. So we're going back and forth, maybe about 5 times, really thinking about drawing that belly button towards the spine, being very deliberate with loading through the whole forearm so we get good shoulder girdle activation. And we want to think about a cord from the crown of our head jutting off on sort of a 25-degree angle in front of us. So back and forth, feeling that tension release in the front of the thighs. On the next one, we're going to bend the right knee, and we're going to see how that shifts and puts a little bit of a different pressure on the left leg. And again, we're going back and forth, loading through the shoulders, keeping the core tight. On the next one back, we're going to switch legs and put more weight on that right quadricep group. Still going back and forth, still activating through the core and the shoulder girdles. Okay, so we've had an even release on both quads. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come into a side plank. So I'm still going to be right on my forearm, except here I'm going to put my body perpendicular to the floor. Okay, so ideally I want to imagine I've got a nice line through my elbow, my shoulder, and up, and then my hips are also stacked. Now, if you're new to rolling that lateral quad, hamstring, iliotibial tract, you may want to put your top foot over just so that there's less body weight loading into your bottom leg. If you feel comfortable, you can bring your legs stacked. Imagine you're standing so your feet are pressing down. And what we're going to do is we really want to try and keep the eyes forward. If you like, you can bring that top arm up for a little bit of core balance challenge. And we're going to roll along towards the outside of the knee and back towards the hip. Still really thinking about engaging through the core. I'm pressing down through that right forearm, right palm, back and forth, getting some nice length through the spine. Still breathing, still really just going at a nice pace to get some nice shift through those outer quadricep muscles, outer hamstring, and a little bit into the iliotibial band and into the TFL, which feeds into that. So going back and forth, but really using this as a core exercise to really think about being nice and long and tall. So I don't want my head to come forward. I'm really reaching, lengthening, and feeling some nice release into the outer thigh. Okay, let's bring the roller around to the other side. So I'm going to repeat that with my other leg. So same thing, I'm going to set up, I'm going to bring my forearm down so that I'm loading right into that shoulder girdle. Again, if you're new to this, you might want to try bringing your top foot on, but you still want to have your hips stacked, your shoulders stacked, and whatever you did to the first side, try and repeat to the second side so we can keep you even. So here I am again. I'm coming all the way up towards the hip in that TFL. I'm keeping my eyes forward. I've got my hand up to further challenge my core, keeping my hips and my shoulders stacked, and I'm still breathing. We really want to get oxygen to the tissues so that they can get better activation when you are out for your run. So really still pushing through the feet, breathing, keeping a nice load on my shoulder girdles. My fingertips are pointing forward the same direction as the roller as well. And I'm still breathing, doing an even number on that second side. Okay, we'll hold it there. Now we're going to switch into our next release and activation exercise. We're going to place our bum in front of the roller. Our feet are going to be firmly planted on the floor. And I'm actually just going to lean back a little bit and allow my roller to become sort of mid-back. I'm going to reach around my hands to the crown of my head, and I want to feel my head heavy. My elbows point towards the ceiling, and here we go. We're going to find those four corners of the feet again. Press down through the feet to lift up the bum, and I'm going to walk my feet forward as I'm rolling my upper back, and then I'm going to walk my feet back to bring the roller down towards the bottom of the rib cage. So I'm doing a release to my thoracic spine, while at the same time, I'm getting a core activation, co-activation of lower abdominals and glutes to really get some good hip stabilization, core stabilization. Now I do see a lot of people in the gym rocking back on their heels, and they're really using too much hip flexor. We really want to get the whole sole of the foot rocking all the way to the base of the rib cage, and then all the way down, even as high as the base of the neck. But still keeping the head relaxed, the neck is supported by the arms. And let's do one more here, all the way up, and then all the way down. And we're going to add a little extra with this one. We're going to target our obliques. We're going to do a quarter turn to the left, still supporting the head, and I'm getting a little oblique turn, and I'm getting into some of that serratus musculature into the rib cage. And we're going to go back and forth, get right into that lat, and all the way back up. And then whatever we do to one side, we're going to do to the other side. So a little quarter turn to the other side, getting those other obliques and other lat and other serratus all the way up and all the way down. Soles of the feet are hitting the floor, and lower the bum and relax. We'll come and sit up. And our next exercise is going to be a little bit of upper body strength while we release our calf muscles. So here we go. We're going to bring the full roller in front of our bum now, underneath the calves, and we'll prop the calves right up on the roller. Now I'm going to put my fingers spread. They're going to point towards the roller. I'm going to place them, keeping the fingers spread as much as possible. I'm going to lift up my bum and really thinking about opening up through the chest, and I'm walking myself up the roller and back. And if you like, you can do even a little bit of a dip exercise, down and up, so you're getting some nice chest opening. Here we go, and we can point with our feet, flex with our feet as we go. And again, you can walk yourself all the way down as well. You can go to that proximal or top part of the calf muscle now and do some dips. So 1 and up, and 2 and up, and one more. Here we go. Lower it down and then push yourself up. Now let's isolate one calf at a time. So I'm going to cross my right leg over my left leg, And again, same thing, I'm gonna lower my upper body down and my butt down, and then I'm gonna use my upper body to lift myself back up. And I'm just rocking back and forth now on that left calf. Feel free, stop, take a little break if you're feeling that in your upper body, you should be. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cross over the other leg, left over right, press down through the hands, lift up the bum, and here we go with the right calf. So 1, 2, 3, and rock it back and forth on the right calf, and we'll stop there. So we've done some release of the fronts of the thighs, the backs of the calves, the outer thighs, and the upper back. So all of those muscles tend to get tight and short with our repetitive movement patterns in our day-to-day life. So I do just want to do a little bit of hip activation before we get out and head out on our run. So you can kick the foam roller out of the way, and what we're going to do is we're going to come into a quadruped 4-point position, okay? And what we want to do is we want to find the bases of the finger pads. Those are called your MCPs, and we're really going to think about having a uniform spread between our fingers. We're going to place the hands down on the mat, okay? And we want to have wide collarbones, and we want our elbow creases to point forward. So here I am, hands under shoulders, spread fingers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my right foot behind me, and I'm going to extend my left leg towards the floor, opening up, again, reminding us of that IT band release position. So our shoulders are stacked, my elbow is soft, it's not locked, and my hips are stacked. So both hips are pointing forward. And what I'm going to do is press down through the outer blade of the left foot to really lengthen up that left side. And I'm going to drive my left arm up, reaching over the head. And let's take 5 nice deep breaths here, opening up into the left rib. So nice big breath in and exhale. Inhale to lengthen and exhale. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale, exhale, keep that bottom elbow loose, don't lock the elbow, and 1 more time. Nice big breath in, pressing through the left foot to lengthen the left ribs. Exhale. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring that left arm up so that it's mostly in line with the right arm. I'm going to press down through my right knee, my right hand, and I'm going to pop up that left leg, really thinking about lengthening. And now I can feel my right glute med muscles centering the femur into the hip socket, and I'm going to hold it there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower the left leg down, anchor the foot, come out, give your right hip a little bit of a break, and then we're going to pop back up into that again. So right hip pushes forward, pressing down through the right hand. Right elbow is not locked. I'm going to let my right knee connect with the floor, driving my right hip forward, and I'm going to pop that left leg up again, really feeling those right glute med muscles engaging. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lower the left leg. You can come right out of it this time, and we're going to repeat it all on the other side. For this one, I just want to give you the quick visual of my hand placement. I talk about spreading the fingers, a uniform spread between the fingers, and I really want to keep my elbow creases pointing towards the front with my collarbones nice and wide. So again, from the side, we're going to get into that quadruped position. Anchor the hands, spread the fingers nice and wide, unlock the elbows. We're going to kickstand our left leg out this time, right leg comes back. I'm going to anchor into the blade of the right foot, pushing both hips forward. My left hand is spread, elbow is unlocked, and here we go. We're going to reach the right arm over the top this time, lengthening into the right ribs, still really thinking about pushing that left hip forward to keep the pelvis perpendicular to the floor. We're going to breathe in and exhale, lengthening the right arm over the head, pressing down through the blade of the right foot. Inhale again, and exhale, lengthening into the ribs, keeping the eyes forward, keeping the left elbow unlocked. Inhale, exhale, press through the right foot, lengthen the right arm overhead. Inhale, exhale, lengthen, and one more time, really push into that right foot. Inhale and lengthen the right arm all the way up and lengthen into those ribs. Okay, here we go. Right arm comes up in line with left arm, really pushing that left hip forward. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. To prepare, exhale, press down through the left hand and the left knee to pop up the right leg. And breathe in for 1, and exhale. Feeling that those left glute med muscles engaging, keeping the left elbow soft. We're here for another 3, 2, 1, and let the right leg come down. Give your left hip a little bit of a break. And then we're going to anchor that right foot again. Press the left hip forward. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Take a nice deep breath in to prepare. Exhale. Press down through the left hand and the left knee to pop the right leg up. And I'm really thinking about somebody's got a cord in the center of my right heel and they're pulling my right leg long out of the hip socket. And we're here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And lower it down. Give your hips a little wiggle waggle, your shoulders and your wrists and your elbows a bit of a shake. I hope you enjoyed my little warm-up, lengthen activation in preparation for running.